Do you think men are smarter than women?
Nah, like, nah.
Fuck no.
Oh no, definitely not.
No, of course not.
No, I don't think so.
Do you think men are smarter than women?
No.
No. Why not?
uh, like they say, anything a man can do, a woman can do 10 times better. And also, behind every successful man, there's a woman.
Wow. Wait, expand more on that. How is that?
I feel like um, in a class of 10 at least, and let's say there are like two women, there's a really high possibility that those two are among the first three or first five in that class. So, and honestly, I think if a woman can have a family, a business, and still have time for herself, that's being smart. It's not about intelligence or book smart. There's other smarts. So yeah.
Why not?
Like, in some decisions, like, women are, like, more clear than men, and, like, they think more in depth than men. I think so.
No.
Yeah. Why?
Because for example, just my degree, I'm doing engineering, and they think that it's only for men, but I'm there. I'm doing fine. Like it's not about who's smarter, who isn't. You know?
Yeah, true. What do you like? Why would you say, like, if you go more into detail, like, what are things, like, as far as our society, that make people may think that men are smarter than women?
Just how, like you said, it's just how society presents it. They present men as being like more like empowered than women. Women have to be like, they see women as less. Like, you know, if that makes sense.
No. Why?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
Because it's different. Like it's a whole different aspect. Like I don't know. Like for my cousin, right? And she's a girl. She said this, and I don't know if I truly believe it, but she's like all the presidents we had, like their wife was the one that could read. Like the presidents know how to read. They didn't know nothing. And the women was the one, like she was the boss telling him what to do, and but everybody else listening to him, I guess.
I think there's a lot of potential for either. Bro, I'm like out of it right now, man. I need to sleep. There's a lot of potential for both party to surpass one another in like intelligence, or at least that's what I believe. You know, a lot of people don't realize that potential until like much later in their lives. So
Okay.
that's just like my thing.
What do you think about like, I guess usually with like business owners, CEOs, the president, people who are in like anywhere, anything to do with like the government? Why are they usually men opposed to women?
It's like, I think it's like a stereotype, things like that, and I think it's gonna change in the future.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was good. Thanks.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it, man.
Mhm.
I think that is because it's always been that way, and people kind of like surmount the power that women can bring, and they kind of like, it's hard to explain. It's almost as if like the system has always been men, so like to have women, it's like it's just something different, and it's unsettling and uncomfortable for people, especially for men, because men have always been seen as powerful, so they see women as unpowerful.
Mm, well, again, it goes back to like how society sees them, and they see them as superior than women. So they won't consider. Obviously, they're gonna consider. It depends on the company. I don't want to be general about it, but they will consider a man before a woman.
You know, times are changing. You know what I mean? Like we're exiting a time where men were seen as like the ones with the cojones. You know what I mean? You know, the ones that are like, oh yeah, we need a man to take charge. But I think it's just a product of the time. Things are changing now, so we're heading in a interesting direction now. Things are changing, so.
I feel like when you look at a man, you just think power. You think that this dude's like a boss. I don't think that's right, but that's what I think it is. Just people look up to men.
What are some things that I guess women would be more intelligent, I guess, in certain subjects opposed to a man?
I don't know. I
It's
feel
just
like
who works harder, really. It's
I
not
feel
like
like what subject would they be better at?
Yeah, pretty much, or like that.
I feel
they're
like
more.
women in general like know a lot more about like cosmetic stuff.
Hmm.
So I feel like they'd be better at like beauticians and stuff than men, because they're just always around it.
Do you think that men are smarter than women?
Not by nature,
Why is that?
because there's not really that much difference biologically between men and women, and most of the differences, as far as I know, are physical in general. But there's people like men that can be weaker than women, and women that can be faster or whatever. But as far as I've heard, biologically, we're all pretty much the same mentally.
What do you think about men being more? Usually they're on top. Usually they're CEOs. They're in politics. Anything with money, they're always on top. Why is that?
Well, I think it's still a lot of leftover from a really male-dominated culture that we used to have, and to this day it still permeates through. I mean, there's obviously a lot more equality now than there used to be, but there's still a lot of people on top are the people who have been there for decades and years and everything. And the society we used to grow up in didn't have nearly as much equality as we do now, and we're still not 100% there nowadays, but it's a lot farther than it used to be. And I think we'll see that change over time, because there's a lot more women that are going to college now. There's a lot more equality. Actually, I think here we have more women than we do have men. And so I think as we see the decades go on, we're going to see that change to be more equal. But right now, the way it is, with previous decades and previous centuries, I think that's why there tends to be more of an imbalance there right now.
Are men smarter than women?